Chaotic, and it has changed my life. I'm a fan of his ever since. I love this collection. Of his most legendary supermodels and more. The four queens of the runway. Fashion, New York Fashion Week is right around the corner. Librarian tonight, and that's because I came to read a bitch. Jaja's Atelier, bitch. Welcome back all to a brand new episode of Jaja's Atelier. It's your girl back with a very special holiday edition episode. And listen, by the time you guys see this, it will be the Friday after Thanksgiving. You guys know we are not doing any Black Friday shopping, no Target, no Walmart, no DSW shoes. No, none of that. We are really sticking into the government and showing them that we mean business and withdrawing our dollars, honey. With that being said, y'all might as well sit your asses down and watch me for 37 minutes. Okay? Because that's how much time I got on my clock. So there's been a whole lot going on. I got sick the week before last, and it took me a minute to bounce back. You know, the older you get back, the harder it is to bounce back from any kind of virus or flu or anything. And I've already got a cigarette lit, so we might as well just get into it. Top story of the week, for me anyway, the Met has announced its new theme for this year's Met Gala and exhibition. Upon that announcement, it was also announced that Jeff Bezos and his wife, new wife, Lauren Sanchez, are going to be one of the three main donors of the event. According to People magazine, let me pull it up here. Oops. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez Bezos will have sizable roles behind the scenes of the 2026 Met Gala. The couple first attended the event together in 2024. The 2026 Met Gala theme will be costume art. I also read that it's got something to do with how fashion and the body and all of that. I thought they did all of that already. Anyway. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez Bezos will be involved behind the scenes of the 2026 Met Gala. On Monday, November 17th, the couple was announced as the primary donors funding the 2026 Met Gala. Next year's event, costume art themed Vogue confirmed. Also, big heavy hitter donors is Saint Laurent and of course Condé Nast. Now, okay, I've seen everybody's thoughts on it. I've seen everybody's pieces on it. Let me wet my whistle before I begin my read. And here's what I have to say. From what reports are saying, Jeff Bezos only donated $5 to $6 million, allegedly, which isn't a whole hell of a lot of money from a man who's worth $230 billion. This kind of cachet is good for the Met Gala. It is good for the foundation because in order to keep the Met Gala going, you need money. The problem with the choice of donor is this is a MAGA oligarch billionaire who is scrubbing money from the bottom of our pockets to line his own, and he is joining other oligarch tech billionaires to do so. Not only is backing MAGA not a good idea, think of all the queer people that work in fashion, all of the black people that work in fashion, all of the different races, Hispanic, that this administration has offended. It is a huge slap in the face to a lot of us who have grown up being inspired by the Met, wanting to walk those steps, admirations of interviewing celebrities on those steps. It is a huge slap in the face. And anybody who doesn't seem to think so, I think you're really tone deaf. I also think that this completely overshadows Vogue's newly appointed creative director after Anna Wintour's departure, Chloe Mao, because this will be her first Met as editor-in-chief of Vogue, essentially. And I haven't heard boo about what she got to say about it. And then it's also kind of like, damn, Anna. And I get it. I think Vogue over the past, I'm going to say, ever since about 2018, 2019, we've seen a shift in Vogue. It's more event oriented. How many different ways can you make $1? As to the days of Andre Leon Talley and the former dearly departed editor of Vogue Italia, Franca. I can never get her last name right. Those days are gone. People, to be honest, is anybody even reading actual copies of Vogue magazine? Vogue has to have a way to make money, but there's so many other people that you could have that would have donated. Kim Kardashian is a billionaire. Why didn't she donate? She could have easily donated $5 million, honey. She doesn't have that Bezos billion, but she has $1 billion. Once you have $1 billion, it's pretty much all the same to me. And even with Kim Kardashian, that would be a slap in the face too, because she's opening up skim stores all in Israel. We talked about that on the last episode, I believe. So, I mean, and then it's this, Lauren Sanchez is the desperate, nothing ass, bottom feeder girl that always wanted to be the it girl. And now she's vipered her way into this billionaire bed. And people were saying, like, damn, only $5 million? Well, because Jeff Bezos doesn't give a fuck about fashion. Jeff Bezos doesn't give a fuck about this. He's doing this to appease his bitch. I mean, his wife. The Bezos bimbo. This is to appease her. And he's like, listen, bitch, I ain't giving you no more than $5 million. Here, take this $5 million and however much it costs her hair and makeup and get the fuck out of my face. I'll see you Monday. That's what I think happened. We're getting to a point where I think everybody... Oh, my desk is shifting. I think everybody, minorities, gay, queer, any kind of minority person, if you've had any admiration of working in the fashion business, I think we have to change what we think that's going to look like. Because it's clear that Condé Nast and Vogue is definitely capitulating to this administration, and if not to the administration directly, to the administration inadvertently through its tech oligarch billionaires like a Jeff Bezos. And I can guarantee you one motherfucking thing. Oh, there will be some scuttlebutt around this Met Gala, because if you think Melania Trump is not going to make an appearance at this year's Met Gala, I would bet my next check on it. We are going to see Melania Trump. We are going to see Ivanka and Jared Kushner Trump. We are going to see his other two knucklehead dumbass sons. Oh, Trump might not be there. I don't think he's going to make it till May. We're going to get to Trump in a minute. I don't think Trump is going to make it to May. Oh, but the First Lady will definitely be there. Anna. And also when it comes to the theme of this year's Met Gala, something is going on with my desk. Hold on. There we go. And when it comes to the theme, they're talking about, oh, we're exploring Western art. What the fuck does that mean? I had a conversation last year when the Met Gala came up with one of my homegirls. Hey, Anita, and she was saying like she loved the theme of the Met, but it almost seemed like hair, just like, you know, was it Yanita? It might not have been Yanita. Yanita, if you're seeing this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was you I was talking to last year about it, and she was kind of like, something about it felt off. It seems like, oh, just give the nigga something. It's basically what she was saying that it felt like. And now that's exactly what it was. Because what is Western art anyway? Because anything that ended up over here started off where we from. It's really, we've seen a lot of celebrities surrounding themselves with these billionaire oligarchs and you know, certain people that we frown upon. That, I mean, we've seen, and I hate to say this because I love her, but we even saw Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and Beyonce at Kris Jenner's birthday party, which was at Jeff Bezos' house. And it's like, damn, really? And listen, those celebrities, they're free to do what they want to do with their money. You know, it's up to us if we want to support it or not. It's just that simple. It's no need in arguing back and forth. We sit back, we pay attention, we watch, and we disengage from whatever we don't like. And we, again, those of us who have not crossed over into that mainstream Vogue world, we're going to have to really rethink what our career in fashion is going to look like. Because Condé Nast owns up some of everything. So this is not just going to happen to Vogue, in my personal opinion. I hope you understand that. And then it's like, Lauren Sanchez being a part of the Met Gala. Girl, the first time we saw this bitch, she was wearing Patagonia. Okay? And hey, I have a couple of Patagonia sweaters. Great brand. Nothing against, no shade against Patagonia. But it is not the equilibrium of high fashion, darling. Honey, this girl was wearing tennis skirts and Von Dutch. She's trailer trash. But we're in a place in this country right now where money could buy you anything. Even a historical, iconic, legendary event such as the Met Gala. I want to see, I'm wondering who's going to attend, who's going to be tone deaf and act aloof. I'm wondering if Rihanna and A$AP Rocky are going to come. Now, in my personal opinion, Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, you have enough cachet and motion and juice to go down there and throw your own Met Gala and down there in Harlem. And the theme could be, fuck them hoes. Hey, I'm just saying, it's an idea. Anyway, on to more kissing of the ring. What really disappointed me was Pharrell with his quote on politics. I didn't get a chance to read all the article. I did read most of it. Pharrell, you can't ride the fence with this. He says in Complex, and I quote, "I hate politics. When you pick a side, you are inadvertently supporting division." This had the internet all in an uproar. Some people weren't surprised by this. I was surprised by this. And then to learn that you performed for a Israeli government, some kind of IDF. Is it IDF? Some kind of IDF event that supports, you know, the genocide that's happening in Oh my God. I just had a brain fart. I'm high and I've been cooking all day. Um, Palestine, it's just the nail in the coffin for me. You know, and it's like, you're a young black man from Virginia, for fucking crying out loud. I remember when his cousin or one of his family members got shot by the police for just being black. And it's just like, is the money really that, is it that serious? And people have a right to do what they want to do. But again, Pharrell, you are going to end up on the wrong side of history with this. Another celebrity that, even though I think she's cuckoo for fucking Cocoa Puffs, I didn't think she would take it this far, is Nicki Minaj. Now, after her explosive internet brawl with Cardi B, she started making some strange tweets towards MAGA. Now, there's this whole conspiracy theory going on that the Trump administration has put out about, the killing of Christians in Nigeria. Now, mind you, Nigeria is one of the countries that Trump called a shithole country. So why he gives a fuck about Nigeria all of a sudden, who the fuck knows? If you ask me, there's some kind of natural resource that these crackers are trying to garner for themselves. So now they're gonna, gaslight the public into thinking, oh, we're gonna help the Christians. They're being killed in Nigeria. You ever notice that whenever they want something and they want to take it in a shisty, roguish ass way, they always have to come up with the most dramatic goddamn conspiracy theory to get the people on board with it? It's like, really? So Nicki Minaj had tweeted about it. I'm not going to read her tweets. She was invited to deliver a speech at the United Nations panel. And let's take a look at what she said, honey. Hold on. Take a look.
Thank you, Ambassador Waltz, for this invitation. It is an honor to stand on this stage with you and the other distinguished speakers here today to shine a spotlight on the deadly threat faced by thousands of Christians in Nigeria. I would like to thank President Trump for prioritizing this issue and for his leadership on the global stage in calling for urgent action to defend Christians in Nigeria, to combat extremism, and to bring a stop to violence against those who simply want to exercise their natural right to freedom of religion or belief. I stand here as a proud New Yorker with a deep sense of gratitude that we live in a country where we can freely and safely worship God regardless of one's creed, background, or politics.
I think this is the nail in the coffin for Nicki. So many of her fans were like, Nicki, what the fuck? You are a gay icon. You are a black icon. How could you do this? But again, what I also find interesting is that I notice anytime a black celebrity gets in bed with Trump, they usually want something from him. And I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but her brother is currently incarcerated for, I believe, allegedly, possibly, child molestation. So a lot of people online were saying, this is just her trying to get a pardon for her brother. I don't think this is that. Because especially if he was found guilty by the state, it's nothing Trump could really do to help him. And I don't think he would, seeing as all this Epstein stuff that's came out. We're going to get to that in a minute, I told you. I just think this is her just being less than smart. It's really disappointing. I could get past the internet beefing. I could get past, the trolling online. But Nicki, this is the end of the road for me. I have removed all of her music from my playlist. I'm just not fucking with it. I'm not fucking with it. If you want to sell your soul for some more fame and some more dollars, you go ahead and do that, Nicki Minaj. But your name, when people look back in history, it's going to be on the wrong side. Much like Mr. Pharrell. And that's something that you're going to have to deal with. All I can do is step back and disengage. So, speaking of stepping back and disengaging, honey, Marjorie Taylor Hulk Hogan motherfucking Greene has resigned from Congress. As of her last day will be January 26th, just in time for her to collect that congressional pension, honey. A lot. She's apologized. She's done an apology tour. She has fallen out with Trump. It's official. It's over. The two of them have broken up. And she is just, I didn't know. And, MAGA is coming after me. And, whenever you red belly bitches get yourselves into a situation that you know is going to end up fucking you over, you always want to come back to the other side and boo-hoo, baby mama cry. Where was all of that when you were one of the MAGA people terrorizing Jasmine Crockett or AOC or Hakeem Jeffries or Joy Ann Reid? What about when you were doing all of that? Your apology means nothing over here, Jurassic Park, okay? You are a racist. You are a homophobe. You are a transphobe. You are a misogynist. Yes, because you look so like a man, brother. I don't give a damn, and I'm going to tell you something else. I wouldn't be surprised if this is all a rebrand for her to run for president. As if. I'm sorry, but my common sense is not for sale. And that's what I got to say on that. Now, y'all mean to tell me Trump was out here sucking dick this whole time? So, all these emails have leaked. I have heard about the Bubba stuff. I can believe that he was down there sucking on some dick. I can believe it because I'm going to tell y'all something. As a former boarding school attendee and being the only black femme queen at the boarding school, I was 14. Honey, it was a penis parade. White boys are very explorative in their sexual endeavors, let me just tell you. And they're far more comfortable with it. So I'm not surprised if they were joshing around and it's like, hey, what? Hey, Don, why don't you come over here and suck my dick? And Don was probably like, yeah, you got any money for me? And he got down on his knees and got to work. I'm not surprised by this, nor do I really give a fuck about it. Yeah, it's a funny kiki, ha ha ha, PDT, President Deep Throat, yada yada yada. But it's time to get him up out of there. This man can barely walk. He's talking about renaming the Republican Party Trump-Republican. This man is out of his fucking gourd. They've got this motherfucker on a drip. Do you hear me? I have never seen him look this pasty white before, ever. It is beyond a joke. This man doesn't even know what day it is. He is ordering the hanging of Democratic, Congress people. He is going after war heroes. He is just it's clear as fucking day that Putin got all the motherfucking cachet in the world over this government. It's clear that Benjamin Netanyahu has got his thumb on this country. It is clear as day. The treasonous bullshit that is going on in the MAGA Republican Party, it's just time to get them out of there. It is ridiculous. It is past the joke. Europe has disengaged with letting our government know what the fuck is going on in the world. They don't even trust us with any information that they come across. He has cut SNAP, food stamp benefits. He is raking in the motherfucking dough. Now he's online begging the American people for money because he has to fulfill God's will. He's talking about his mortality. He thinks he's gonna die soon. That's clear. It's Thanksgiving. People just want to eat, watch TV, and be left the fuck alone. Just like how he wants to suck dick in peace, we want to suck dick in peace. Just like how he wants to eat whatever the fuck he want to eat and not have to worry about going to work, we want that same luxury. And you, unlike the majority of the rest of us, got a lot more life behind you than you do in front of you, sir. So just go, Melania, take that man to a convalescent home and just go ahead and just tell the Democrats, just come fix it. Anyway, this is going to be a quick episode. I'll be back later this week because I'm feeling a lot better. But this is a quick episode because, honey, I got to cook tomorrow, okay? I cooked a little today and I'm going to cook a little tomorrow. I got to make my deviled eggs. So I have one last story, and I wasn't going to touch on this because I wasn't really familiar with this young woman. But I'm going to start by saying this. Enough is enough with the black community versus the queer community crap. So last week, the trans community lost a young ingenue in wig influencer and TikToker girl Lala. Now, I'm not on TikTok. I know I have a TikTok, but I never use it. I'm not into the TikTok thing. But she was famous on TikTok. She was killed by her boyfriend last week. There is countless videos of him being abusive to her. He knew that she was a trans woman. They were in a relationship. He's 25. She was 21, but they had been dating for a few years, which already is a red flag for me because if you're 25 and she's 21 and y'all been dating for a few years, you get where I'm going with this? Okay. So, and this happens to trans women a lot. I know that the common thing to say is, oh, well, y'all don't need to be tricking people. Nobody's tricking these men, honey. This young man knew that this girl was a trans woman. But the bigger problem I'm having is that a lot of you can't even let us die in peace. The misgendering, well, she shouldn't have did this and she shouldn't have did that. I don't give a fuck what she did. It's never okay it didn't warrant her life being taken. The same way Trayvon Martin's life was taken. The same way Fidel Castillo's life was taken. The same way it was unnecessary that Sonia Massey got shot in her kitchen while praying. The same way that Breonna Taylor, it was unnecessary for Breonna Taylor to get shot, in her house while she was sleeping. Now, granted, these all happened at the hands of the police, but unnecessary murder is unnecessary murder. And the same way we find compassion for heterosexual black people that get harmed is the same compassion I would like to see the black community have for queer people when we get harmed. But I'm not going to hold my breath. Her father came out and spoke, and which, here we go yet again, set the internet ablaze. Now we're not even talking about, oh my God, this beautiful young trans woman is no longer with us. Now we're talking about how she should be buried. Take a look at what the father had to say. Hold on. All right, here we go.
Can't even bury my son in peace. Y'all want to put the man in the wig. I ain't letting no preacher stand up. Ain't no ordained, anointed preacher gonna do that. Stand over no man and preach in the wig. Stop it. Y'all doing this for the show. Y'all ain't worried about my son's soul. Please, I ask y'all to have Friday. I'm gonna get a word, girl la la. Whatever y'all want, girl la la la. I don't know him as that. I ain't taking that from his followers, from his crowd, none of that. Y'all can have that. Put him in the wig. The viewing is open for the public. Come see him. I ain't taking the opportunity from y'all. I don't want none of his followers, likes, none of that. The funeral Saturday. Put my son in the pot smoke, braids with a sharp tape, or afro for the last time. I ain't attending no funeral with my son that God gave to me as a boy in the wig.
I thought that was the most disgusting thing I've seen in quite a while. Somebody I know asked me about this. And I said, well, and they were like, well, I just don't get all the fuss. And I mean, that's his son. That's his son. And he don't want to see his son in no wig. And my thing to the person was, in my head, I'm like, why are you even asking me about this? You know what my answer is going to be. You know where I stand on these issues. Hello. The constant need for Black people to tell trans people what they are and what they should be, it really needs to stop. It really needs to stop. I am no longer, and I want my trans sisters and my trans brothers and all my queer people to really start adopting this thought of this process of thinking, that this realization that I've come to. I am no longer going to have conversations with heterosexual Black people, or white people for that matter, about anything that has to do with us as trans women or trans men or queer anything. I think that it's time that we pull back. We see so much of our culture being used by straight people, yet these are the same people that demonize us. And I'm sorry, Black people, you got to take accountability for the bullshit that you put out here. How often do I say, it's funny how the oppressed often wants to feel the power of the oppressor. Black people, the only reason why you pick on queer people so hard, and no, it's not all Black people, we are not a monolith. Yeah, but for the ones that are, this is who I'm talking to. Black people, the only reason why you pick on queer people is that's because that's the only group of people you can pick on, and the rest of the world will applaud you like a fucking seal at SeaWorld. Black women, the only time people give a fuck about your safety is if it has something to do with a trans woman, and that's why you catcall the way you do. It's not helping you any. Because God, just by happenstance, if they get rid of all of us queers, who the fuck do you think they're going to be coming after next? I'm tired of the bathroom conversation. I'm tired of the sports conversation. When the real issue is these hoity-toity motherfucking red belly cracker motherfucking River Rock, Mississippi mud drinking crackers in our motherfucking government that can't keep they stinky motherfucking pinkies off the playground so bad that they got other countries possessing pictures of them in compromising motherfucking positions. Sex trafficking hundreds and thousands, if not millions of young children all across the motherfucking world and state and country lines. That's your real motherfucking problem. Patriarchy, bigotry, the Jim Crow South that is still here in this country today is your motherfucking problem. And that's for you to deal with. We as trans and queer people, we're not helping you carry that burden anymore. If any of you have anything to ask me about transness or anything like that, feel free. But when it crosses the line of disrespect, fuck you, bitch. I'm not doing it anymore. We shouldn't do it anymore. Black people, black community, y'all, we all need to heal. The pain that you inflict on your children, there's a price to pay for that. And that father, if you wanted to bury your son, hey, that's your daughter. Because I'm not going to misgender her. That's your daughter. You do as you wish with your trans daughter. But you didn't have to get up on the internet and say a motherfucking thing. Because quiet as it's kept, your natural born female daughter came out and said, you ain't been in this child's life and God knows how long, so she don't know why you give a fuck now. And this notion that I'ma give y'all girl la, don't do us any motherfucking favors. Bury your child the way you want to. But to my young to all my trans girls out there, make sure you have your orders, your affairs in order. And make sure you have a good person in charge of your estate that's going to follow your wishes and bury you the way you want to be buried. I love my black people, but I'm done with this. You're going to have to talk about that transphobic, homophobic shit amongst yourselves. And to the ones that are good to us as queer people, we love you and we appreciate you. Now, I want to close with this video I found of RuPaul, and I'm dedicating this to all my queer people out there that watch.
I left my mother's house when I was 15 and went out into the world and soon realized that I had little value to the establishment status quo. Imagine having a stack of money from a different country and no one locally accepting it as having value. Shunned by whites for being black, by black people for being gay, by gay people for being effeminate. So I had to create my own value system, my own currency to feel significant. A value system based on love and laughter, and music, kindness, colors, cynicism, dancing, truth, freedom, intellect, intuition, beauty, and joy. Now, full disclosure, it is not easy to sustain because it's in direct opposition to the status quo. But it helps to surround yourself with like-minded people to help you keep the torch burning. But even that doesn't guarantee your tribe will always be there for you. Sometimes they fall off. They get seduced by the mindlessness of the blue pill, like in the movie The Matrix. But if you can remember who you really are, you'll never forget your true value.
And so that's what I want to leave my queer brothers and sisters with. And that's what I want to leave not just queer people, but also black people, because I feel like once we've all come to that realization, I think we'll all be able to come together. Because this is not just a bash or a beat down. I really want us to come to a resolution, but until we do, queer people, trans women, trans men, stop arguing with these people. Because until they heal, they are not going to hear. They don't want to understand. They want to live in this area of hate. So you have to let them live in that area by themselves. And like Mother Ruth said, find your tribe. Find your tribe. Find the people that fit with you the best. And you keep growing from there. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll be back in a few days. And I hope you guys enjoyed your turkey and your macaroni and cheese and your green beans and your peach cobbler and your lasagna and your mashed potatoes and gravy and all of that good stuff. I'm going to chill. Happy holidays and ciao.